I'm joined by Representative Jason Smith, who is the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Chairman Smith, welcome back. Great to have you.
It's great to be with you, Hugh.
Now, Mr. Chairman, the Trump tax cuts matter a lot to me because I'm a small business person, and they matter a lot to everyone driving around. What's going to happen to them?
The Trump tax cuts mean a lot to every single taxpayer in the United States, because if we don't make sure that those are extended, on average, 22% tax increase on every single American. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that we deliver on the promises that President Trump made during the campaign and that the American people are expecting. So we got a lot of work to do, but we're going to get it accomplished.
Now, President Trump, when he was on the program last week, said, one big, beautiful bill. Yeah, but, it doesn't matter how it gets done so long as it all gets done. What's the status on one versus two?
Hugh, you made a little bit of noise last week when President Trump was there. He has said consistently that his preference is one big, beautiful bill, but he just wants his priorities passed. So if it takes two, he'll do two. When you're looking at the very slim margins in the House of Representatives, putting all your eggs in that one basket and making sure you're carrying that basket over the finish line is the key. And that's what we're going to have to do. Everyone's going to have to work together to deliver on immigration, border, energy, deregulation, spending cuts, and permanency of Trump's tax cuts all together. And we'll do it.
And defense spending.
Defense spending. Of course, Senator Graham would make sure that defense spending was in there. But what I will say, I've said all along that the last time we've passed two reconciliation bills was in 1997. But I made a mistake. Those two bills that were passed in 1997 were on the same day, and it was the same reconciliation bill, just two different fragments. The last time two reconciliations bills have been signed into law in the same year was in 1986, 38 years ago. Why do we think with these small margins, the smallest margins in the history of Congress, can defy all odds is beyond me. That's why we have to work hard for one big, beautiful bill.
It's not my job. It's your job and Speaker Johnson's job to sit down with Majority Leader Thune and Whip Barrasso and Conference Leader Cotton and whoever is your equivalent in the Senate to figure this out. And I will go with whatever you guys agree to. But I want to talk about the actual budget itself. If we put more revenue in, you can cut more taxes. And I would like to talk about revenue raisers. Taxes on gaming, which I don't like. It's a vice tax. Taxes on marijuana sale, which I don't like. So tax it. And conversions of Roth IRAs or of regular IRAs to Roth, where I want a 10% flat tax, one-time opportunity, because the present discounted value of the out years is a lot more money if it's in the in year. Are you going to add any revenue in order to make the tax cuts deeper?
Hugh, I set up these tax teams almost a year ago. They have traveled the country, more than 20 different states, 120 different meetings with stakeholders, site visits. They're looking at everything. We're looking at the entire tax code. We're not just looking at what is expiring in the Trump's tax cuts. We're looking at it all. So these are items that have been discussed. We're doing policy meetings weekly, multiple times a week, discussing all the different revenue raisers. For example, in the 2017 Trump tax cuts, we had $5.5 trillion worth of tax cuts. $4 trillion of those were revenue raisers. And so we're going to be doing the same type of situation with this tax bill and looking at all different avenues. And so any recommendations you have, I'm always ears for.
Oh, I'm going to turn private citizen here and lobby you. My biggest recommendation, every year I get told by my accountant, do you want to convert your IRA to a Roth IRA? And here's the math. It's very complicated. And I say, no, we're not going to do that. And if it was a 10% flat tax, I would do it immediately. So would trillions of dollars of wealth come in because, of course, 10% is better than an unknown. Have you ever looked at that?
We'll definitely look at it. We've been looking at all different aspects of retirement incentives and tax benefits. So we're also looking at 501 Cs, like the non-for-profits. It's trillions of dollars within our coffers, and there's some entities that truly aren't operating as non-for-profits.
So you mean you're talking about my alma mater, Harvard? I hope you tax their endowment at like 50% because they're just out of control. Are you going to tax endowments?
Let me tell you, in 2017, there was a 1.4% tax on endowments, on the investment aspect, the investment income of endowments. And this is something that is being discussed in great detail right now amongst my colleagues in the House of Representatives. I would expect that you're going to see a lot of activity in that area.
Now, Mr. Chairman, I don't want you to tax the endowments of schools like Hillsdale and Grove City, which do not accept federal money. That it's the people who take federal money and then hold on to their endowments that make me crazy. Mr. Chairman, in terms of Democrats, will any of them help you extend the Trump tax cuts?
You know, if Democrats actually want to have no tax on tips, if Democrats literally live up to what they campaign on and no tax increase on people making less than $400,000 a year, they should vote for our tax bill. When you look at the expiring tax provisions that's taken in effect, $2.2 trillion worth of expiring tax provisions are on people who make less than $400,000 a year. So if they want to practice what they preach, they'll vote for this tax package.
Now, Chairman Smith, I'm in California for a few months, and the frustration out here is off the charts because Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom will not give the evacuees, two of whom are living with me, and my wife, they haven't given any clarity on, the outside of when they can come back. They say it's at least a week till you have to come back. That's a stupid decision. But clarity about timing matters a lot to people. When are we going to know what the timing is going to be of the Republican strategy?
As soon as the budget resolutions agreed to, those reconciliation instructions, that's a little complicated in the weeds, will come to every committee of jurisdiction, including the Ways and Means Committee. That's when we will write the tax bill, officially pass it out of committee, put it on the House floor. I believe that if we follow through with the plan that we wish to execute, we can have it on the president's desk before Memorial Day.
Now, who is your counterpart in the Senate? We're obviously talking about Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune. Who is the Jason Smith of the Senate?
Mike Crapo heads the Senate Finance Committee. Great gentleman from Idaho. We work together on a lot of things. We've been together already once this week.
So the four of you behind a podium announcing one bill or two and the timing, that's what I'm looking for. When do you think we're going to see the four of you behind a podium saying, here's the plan? And I guess the Budget Committee chairs as well have to be there, right?
Yeah, the Budget Committee chairs are the ones that starts the entire process. Ways and Means can't even start until we have the reconciliation instructions from the budget resolution. I think that the Speaker's been very clear that we're going to push one bill out of the House, and Senator Thune says that he'll give deference to the Speaker of what he thinks he can deliver on in the House of Representatives. One big, beautiful bill, Hugh, is not going to be easy. It's going to be extremely difficult. Two will be even harder. And so we're going to have to all join forces, work together, stop wasting time. The American people want us to deliver on these tax cuts immediately. The longer we wait, the bigger mistake that it is. If you look at back in 2017, we delivered Trump's tax cuts the week before Christmas. The week before Christmas. That was way too late. And then 10 and a half months later, we lost the House of Representatives. We can't allow that to happen.
The boom doesn't start until those tax cuts are certain because people can't make CapEx. And isn't everybody understand that? People like me cannot buy new equipment for studios like this until and unless we know what the tax code is?
Hugh, there's 26 million small businesses that are wondering if their tax rate is going to be 40.4% next year or 23.4%. That's why they're not investing right now. That's why they're They're not making the appropriate decisions to grow, to hire, to increase wages. These are things we need to give them the certainty so that they can start now and operate accordingly.
I think that's dispositive, Mr. Chairman. Good luck in your discussions inside the House caucus and with your counterparts and Mr. Crapo and all the other senators. I really appreciate you keeping the audience of the Hugh Hewitt Show informed. Thank you, Chairman Smith. I'll be right back. The powerful House Ways and Means Committee. Never miss an interview with